Good morning. I'm jumping on to do a quick live to finish up the transfer I started the other day. There's another video that I'll combine this to and shorten it down just to kind of make it a 5-minute video, but I figured since I was on here finishing this up, I might as well just go live with it in case anybody wanted to jump on and see if they had any questions. Okay, so I have decided I definitely want to use the frog right here. Also, while I'm on, if you guys have any questions, just jump on and ask them, say hello. Let me know I'm not alone on this Sunday morning with my coffee. So anyways, I want to use the frog. And of course, this woke me up last night, or maybe it was the time change, or maybe it was my cat. But I've been trying to figure out, like, what's the best way? Do I want to try and use the frog? Because she's kind of cute. And I've decided her name is, what was the name I came up with? Kim. So this is Kim the frog. And she's sitting in her garden and she's surrounded by flowers. And she loves the glow around her. The glow I'm going to add through stippling, and I'll show you guys how to do that too. That'll kind of help finish it up and hopefully bring it together a little bit. But I want Kim here to kind of overlap with the flowers that she has around her. So she's almost kind of like sitting on a flower throne. So I'm going to be bringing in, I'm going to figure out how I layer these so that it's not just like all very stiff and disconnected from each other. And so the way I'm going to do that is I'm pretty sure before you take the paper off the back, you kind of want to have a good idea of what your transfers are going to look like what your how you're going to compose your board right here. And so I know that's going to be kind of in the back, and Kim here will be on top. And then I know I want to put like some flowers, maybe like on top of her or something like that, so that she's kind of tucked into like a flower bed. So, and I might even take it so that maybe she's in front of this daisy, but behind this flower, but I don't know, in front of that. So anyways, we're just going to kind of wing it and see what happens. And that's part of the fun for me, is just messing around. And guess what? If you do mess up, you can just cover it up, move it forward. You're never, ever. That's one of the things I love about art, and especially IOD, is you're not stuck by messing something up and leaving it behind. Sometimes you get frustrated and need to put something down and come back to it, which I have done many times, especially with bigger pieces. And then I come back to it and I kind of know what I want to do, and I'm not judging myself as I'm doing it. So I think that's the important thing. All right, so here I'm laying down this beautiful daisy. I'm trying to figure out where I would like it to go. And I'm figuring like Kim here can kind of go on top of the blue flower and the white flower. And I do like that. So I think I'm going to go with this right here. So let's get this down. Oh, I'm going to turn on one more light here that will help me. Hopefully it's not too bright for you. Oh yeah, look at that. So much better. I need more coffee. Okay, so I've got this laid down. I know I'm going to put Kim on top of it, add some flowers around her, and we'll see what it looks like. So now I'm just kind of smoothing the flowers down, kind of getting it taken. I still have not put a top coat on this, which I mentioned in the earlier video. If you watched it, the top coat really helps the transfer adhere faster. So that's not the case here, but I can tell when you hear that little noise right there, you know the transfer is happening, and that's kind of like the little area you want to chase down. It makes it rest easier. And I can take a little peek up. I can feel it's still super not working. There we go. You hear that noise? Now watch. Let's see. See how it just kind of comes right up? I see a little bubble there. That's okay. I'm going to smooth that out. Now the daisy's on. I do like when I'm working as I'm putting stuff together, I'll tell fun little stories in my head about what's happening in the scene. My daughter makes fun of me when I do this because especially when I'm just kind of talking out loud, which I know to do. But I do like the idea of Kim the frog sitting here in her little garden and enjoying the day. I don't think frogs have daylight savings time, so she's especially happy this morning. All right, so here I'm going to show you something. So do you see how I've pulled it up and there's a little bit of transfer stuck on here and then it's all broken down here in this area? This is what I was talking about the other day. You can just come right back up in here, reposition it like that. I'm making sure it overlaps maybe a little bit more. And there you go. Should look really good when I get it transferred across. You should be able to see that little break. And even if you do, there's green behind it. It's going to be a very busy area. Let's see. There we go. Okay. Now for Kim. I'll list out the name of the transfers that these are, but I believe this one is from, I want to say entomology, but I'm not sure. Okay, so yes, I want Kim kind of sitting up in here, some flowers behind her, gives it some dimension. Do I want her? No, I don't want her on that. But I just like her. I like her sitting like kind of right here, breaking through the flowers a little bit. Kind of in the middle. That's okay. More on this side. If you look, this is kind of the middle right here. And lots of times I tend to like things just off center a little bit. So I'm not going to worry about that this time. There's so much going on. There's going to be a lot. I'm going to be putting flowers in over here too. So that's going to look really pretty. All right, let's get Kim here into her new home where she's the queen of her garden. She's got a flower throne. And I am very fortunate the transfer is going on really easy. On top of the chalk paint here, so I don't look like an idiot on live TV. Let's see. Get on there. All right, let's check out Kim. How are you doing there, Kim? Yes, very pretty. I'm going to smooth that down just a little bit. Looks like I have one person watching. If you want to say hi in the comments. And cheers. Cheers to coffee. Or tea, or whatever your morning poison is. Bloody Marys. Okay. So now I've got Kim nicely situated here. And we want to put a little bit, she needs more flowers. So I've got this, and I've got this, and I've got these guys right here. And if necessary, I've got another wander transfer I can cut into because I can do that since I'm a stockist. It's awesome. I was telling my husband the other day, even if this new adventure as a stockist doesn't work out, I have art supplies for the rest of my life. Okay. All right. I want this big flower. So I got the daisies missing some petals. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just have that kind of go off like that. I do like her hind legs though. I don't want to hide them, but maybe it's more like this. And coming into, yeah, like that. I put this down first, and then this will go over the daisy portions that are cut off right here. Okay, cool. All right. I'm just thinking out loud, like I've got a stereo speakers plugged into my brain here, people. So let's see. So this is going to go like this. I just want to make sure that, yeah, so something like this is what she's going to do. Let's see. Ah, that looks good too. Oh, I like that. Let's see. And we can still kind of see where Kim's sitting. This can come off like this. What do you guys think? Okay, and then this is kind of going off. So what I am going to do is I'm going to cut off this section right here and bring it in. Let's see. Bring in these flowers someplace else. There we go. All right. So we have lots of bits to work with here. Let me get this down. I love the layering. It adds so much dimension. I love the big flat sheets too. Don't get me wrong, like Japonica, laying that down. But like that's like when you have a nice big piece. When you're working with something smaller like this, you can really compose this in so many different ways. Everything you do is completely original and yours. Let's see. Get in there. Come on. There you go. You hear that? You see how it's kind of like making this little bubble? And then you can see it leave the transfer and go onto your painting. And then you just follow through. There. That's always a great noise. All right. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to cut this a little bit right here. Usually I like things to wrap around, but then that's just going to be kind of abrupt. So I'm just going to kind of come in here and cut that right there so it ends. And then I'm coming in here. Now there's a little bit of rough paint I missed, like a little dry piece of paint right there, but the daisy's on top of it now and it's here to stay. All right, so we're gonna write that down. So you can kind of see how like a little bit of Kim's leg is being covered up here. All right, let's see. Oh, and now we're gonna put on this greenery right here. So that is kind of coming in. I'm gonna cut off. So here's something. I'm seeing too much of this is hanging off, this green leaf right here. So I'm gonna carefully pick this back up and put this back. Well, I'm going to use this. So I'm going to be carefully cutting this transfer and then putting this back on top of the white sheet so it has a safe place and doesn't get stuck to anything else. I'm going to show you what happens when you don't take good care of storing your transfers when you have little bits like this. So whenever you're working with transfers, you'll probably have little pieces like this left over. You want to save them and store them so that you can reuse them again. There's always something you can use them for. Even little weird pieces like, let me see, like this, right? I mean, I don't know what I'm going to do with this, but I know at some point I'm going to be able to use it. All right. So let's get this little stem with her leaf down. See, these flowers are so happy. I love them. They make me happy. All right, get on there. They're kind of silly flowers too. Like, you know, they're having a good time with Kim. All right, this is where my daughter says, "Mom, you're getting too weird. Be quiet now." Let's see. Come on. Come on. Yeah. It's like, wait. There we go. There we go. All right, let's see. Beautiful. See if you still have bits of Kim sticking through the greenery here. And now I've got like this little daisy that's kind of like, oh, what happened to the rest of my petals? It looks a little bit awkward. So what can we do to help out that daisy? Well, look right here. I got this little green stem. I got this one right here that I was just showing you guys about. Oh, I was going to say a bad word, but I won't. Do you see what I just did? I was not listening to the directions I was trying to give you, and I ripped it apart really fast instead of being gentle. And now I've got this. What can I do with this? All right, well, screwed that up. I'm going to bring this leaf down in here and fix my mess up. If you guys know me at all, I do drop the F-bomb occasionally. I do like saying it, especially when I mess things up or I'm suddenly in pain. Okay, let's see here. Get on there. On. Okay, you are on. All right, I'm going to show you guys something. So it's on there. I don't know if you can tell, but there's like, you kind of see right here along the edge where the transfer has started to stick to the painting, and the rest of this area is pretty solid. It's still on the actual transfer itself. So if I carefully, with very small pieces, I can lift it up the paper and it will automatically just kind of start sticking to the painting underneath it. And then I can go in and do one fell swoop. But look, I made my mistake into something that looks totally fine. And it's not a mistake anymore. All right, now let's see. What do I have left to work with? I've got these flowers. Okay, I got these flowers. These little pretty blue flowers. And I'm looking at my composition here. She's kind of, could be on a lily pad right here, which I like. I've got this blue, and I got some golden flowers. I got this red that could just kind of come in and be used down here, or maybe off to the side, or not at all. I'm going to start. What I like the idea of doing is kind of tying these in together down here and covering up kind of like where this petal is obviously missing. So I'm going to see how I can layer up there. Like, can I? Yes, that'll work. All right, so now I'm going to be very careful and peel this apart. Oh, come on now. Here we go. Very carefully. Okay. So do you see how? Yeah, that's pretty. So I'm covering up where the edges of the flower were kind of bluntly stopped. I'm framing, putting some nice pretty flowers in this corner. I'm covering up the little leaf here, giving it some extra dimension. And I'm going to kind of come in. And I like the yellow. I think the yellow makes it pop with all the blues and greens in here. Let's see. Come on. There's like another piece of like dry paint underneath the sheet. Let's see. I took the stick and I wasn't rubbing over this piece of plastic. I was rubbing where the transfer already went down, and I dinged it just a tiny bit. So right there in the corner, you can kind of see where I started to mess up, but I caught myself. So I'm going to be very careful now, since I have just a tiny bit of space to work with. I'm gonna, like, instead of going down like, well, I think I could do this just a little bit here. I'm going to actually use the corner. That kind of feels safer. Yeah. It's a little bit harder, but I won't mess up the painting around it. Come on. Let's see. This is going to be challenging, and I get to do it in front of you. Yay. Okay, I'm rubbing down really hard. Get in there. All right, it's releasing. There we go. You hear that? That's the sound of a transfer adhering to its new home. Okay, that looks really good. I'm just going to burnish it just a little bit with the back here, really gently kind of going over, making sure there's no bubbles and that's laid down. Going to have another sip of coffee. All right, and now I've got this guy right here. And I want the stem going off the page and kind of overlapping here. Should be pretty straightforward. Yeah. You could go this way, you could go that way. I like that. Okay. There. Very pretty. All right. I'm going to turn this around so you guys can get a better look of where we're at right now. Look at Kim in her new home. She's having fun. I really like this. Okay. So if you're watching, give me a thumbs up. Let me know what you're thinking. I'm thinking that I do want to add a little bit of extra paint, I think. I wanted to demonstrate stippling, but I'm not sure. Like up in here, it's kind of flat. So if there was like a glow, a halo up around here, it would kind of break that up a little bit. Let me see here. Yeah, because it's kind of just really flat up in this area. And I don't want to put any transfers up here. I like Kim kind of being down here in her garden. We kind of get this triangle going a little bit off center up here. So I'm going to pour myself some more coffee while I make the final decision. Oh, don't get any coffee on Kim. All right. I have a feeling Kim would like coffee. This is coffee my husband made for me this morning before going off to church. All right. All right. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys a little bit about stippling. I didn't know it had a name. I just did it. So I messed up a very expensive, well, not a very expensive brush, but a pretty nice brush. I cleaned it and I left it to dry like this, which it should be like a very nice flat brush like this, but it got all frayed because of the way I did not take care of it. The good news is that I can take this brush and use it for stippling. I find this very meditative. I'm going to show you how I do it. So I've got this brush. I've got some yellow paint already picked out. It's very bright, so it might really change this whole thing. I just want like little dots here and there to kind of break up the flatness in here. It'll go over this stamp, which could cause, again, some more dimension or, I don't know what's going to happen. So I got my brush. I just dip it in my paint a little bit. I don't know if you can see, but you see like how all the ends of the bristles now have picked up the yellow paint. I just dipped it in very gently on the surface. And I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to do a little dab on the side right there. And I just want a little bit of glow and I want to break it up a little bit. Can you see that? All right, I'm going to do it again. Just touching the surface. Now, if I get too much paint on, I just offload on my paper over here like that. That looks pretty. Oh, and now I got a little bit of dust on my brush. Not a big deal. Let's pick it off. Okay. So I'm going to do a little bit more yellow up in here. I kind of like that. I like that in here. Now what I could find is that I go overboard the yellow, and guess what? I'm going to need another bit of a transfer to kind of come in up here and tie it all in together. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But it's kind of looking almost like sunlight in the background. So in my head, I'm thinking she's sitting on a lily pond. This is a cloud in the background. And this could be the horizon line right here. And the yellow I'm doing, which I'll probably go around the cloud and the flower, is just some sunlight in the background. Let's see here. Whoop, See, now I did that a little bit too close to each other. But I'm kind of just creating a horizon line here. Let's see. There's some places like here, these spots that are they look like a paintbrush went down. It doesn't look like some random yellowness. So another mistake I'm doing right now is that I'm holding my paint over my painting. And if I were to drip, guess what? I had to figure that one out. So I'm going to put this offside. I got some globs on here. I'm going to offload just a little bit because I don't want globs on my painting. I'm going to come in here and just do a little bit more in around this area, up along the edge, like that. Now I'm going to go back over where there's a little bit extra paint than I needed. There, I like that. Okay, now I'm going to come in here and do this side. I'm going to just hold this up to the camera a little bit so you can kind of see. I don't know if you can tell the difference here on this side where I put the yellow. On this side, can you see? Let me hold it up. So that's what I'm doing. And on this side where it's like really flat, and everybody has their preferences. Some people will be like, this is good. I like it like this. I'm enjoying the little extra glow that's kind of coming in up here. I may go back in, lightly sand it down so that the dots aren't so dotty. I don't know. Let's see. I'm going to keep working on this right here. Oh, I'm in 27 minutes. Wow, this is supposed to be quick. All right, see what I did? Got too much paint on this brush. I'm just going to offload it down here. That's better. And now I'm going to come in, and if I stick to that being my horizon line, I'm going to come in down here and just start pitter-pattering. You can kind of see where the pattern now is very different than what I started with on the other side, and that's okay. Let's see. Let's try. Yeah, it's like this paint is very thick, which I like using for stippling. I'm going to just try and get it off the sides there. And my hands are shaking because coffee, by the way. Not because I'm nervous. All right, get in here. Whoops, I really don't want to go over the cloud. I forgot about that. No, I didn't do that. Not much over the cloud. All right, let's stick up here to the corner. Get some yellow down on here. Come on. I'm going way too deep. Now I have a big glob. And now what I may have to do, this might work. Let's see. Yeah, that works. Cool. Okay. This is the kind of thing when it looks finished. This is actually very easy to do once you get the hang of it. And when it looks finished, it looks like there's some, I don't know what the words are. It's like I put on 3 globs of paint. I did some stamping. And I put the transfer on top. And it's really about the composition and the way I approached and layered things. But this is not like, this is just such a fun outlet and very creative, like juices flowing here, but it's not terribly complicated, right? I'm not like Georgia O'Keeffe here trying to blend things, and maybe one day I'll get to that point, but like I love what I'm doing here. It feels very therapeutic. The end product I think will look really pretty. Let's see. Get in there. Just some little freckles of sun coming down. Get up a little bit closer to this edge right here. Up along this edge, a little bit more paint. I have to be really careful now. I was going too far into the paint before. because coffee. And there we go. Oh, I got some yellow up in here. Little yellow sun freckles kind of coming on in. I'm not going to go over the cloud. I kind of like the cloud as kind of like this, I don't know, like she's watching the sunset or something. She being Kim the frog, if you're just joining us. Let's see. I like the going around the edges of the cloud and then sticking above the horizon line right here. A little bit more. Kind of hearing that more cowbell in my head, but that's usually one of my big things is learning when to stop, because you don't need more cowbell all the time. Like, more, you don't need too much more sun freckles here. I'll tell you what, this is so therapeutic. It's like tapping. Have you heard about tapping? Tapping helping you kind of calm down your central nervous system, but I get a lot of that with this. Here we go. All right, I'm going to call that good for now. A little bit more in here. Just a tiny bit more. All right. Along the edge of this cloud. Right in here. I hear a dog outside, which probably means that there's a teen outside. All right. Okay. I'm going to call this good for now. I may come back in and do something later. Most likely it's just going to be adding the clear mat on top as a protective layer. I won't bore you guys with that. But hey, if you like this, give me a thumbs up. Let me know. Subscribe. I'm looking to build up my YouTube channel for sure so I can get to 100 subscribers. And then that kind of lets me, opens up a few doors for me business-wise. But hey, if you don't like this, let me know why too. I would be kind of curious. What would you do differently? What would you do more of? Let me know. I'm going to be at Live Well Camas this afternoon. I'm going to have some brown craft paper with me and some holiday stamps from last year. So if everybody wants to come down and check out stamping and make some wrapping paper, you're more than welcome to join. In the meantime, Kim says, thanks for stopping on by. Have a great rest of your Sunday, everybody.